Good morning from the New Haven Free Public Library. I'm Haley, and each month I make a craft based on a classic children's book. Today's project is going to be inspired by one of my favorite books of all time, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And to get us into the Tolkien zone, I'm going to read a short passage. This is from a scene where Bilbo has just been separated from his friends and he is lost in the deep, dark Mirkwood forest. This was one of his most miserable moments, but he soon made up his mind that it was no good trying to do anything until day came so there would be some light, and quite useless to go blundering about tiring himself out with no hope of any breakfast to revive him. So he sat himself down with his back to a tree, and not for the last time fell to thinking of his far distant hobbit hole, with its beautiful pantries. He was deep in thoughts of bacon and eggs and toast and butter when he felt something touch him. Something like a strong, sticky string was against his left hand, and when he tried to move he found that his legs were already wrapped in the same stuff, so that when he got up he fell over. Then the great spider, who had been busy tying him up while he dozed, came from behind him and came at him. He could only see the thing's eyes, but he could feel its hairy legs as it struggled to wind its abominable threads around and around and around him. It was lucky that he'd come to his senses in time. Soon he would not have been able to move at all. As it was, he had a desperate fight before he got free. He beat the creature off with his hands. It was trying to poison him to keep him quiet, as small spiders do to flies, until he remembered his sword and drew it out. The spider jumped back, and he had time to cut his legs loose. After that, it was his time to attack. The spider evidently was not used to things that carried such stings at their sides, or it would have hurried away quicker. Bilbo came at it before it could disappear and struck it with his sword right in the eyes. Then it went mad and leapt and danced, and flung out its legs in horrible jerks until he killed it with another stroke. And then he fell down and remembered nothing more for a while. Wow, that was pretty exciting. I think it would be kind of cool to fight a giant spider. But since we don't have them in real life, we only have tiny, tiny spiders, we are going to have to make our own giant spider. All right, everyone, let's go. I'm going to make my spider out of this paper bowl. The first step is going to be to paint the whole thing black so that it will blend in with the dark, spooky, enchanted woods. This is kind of gross, goopy paint, but I guess that's okay. Seems like it will still get the job done. Now, how am I going to make the spider's legs? I have these pipe cleaners, but they're kind of thin. They don't really look right. So what I'm going to do is cut a long strip of tissue paper, and then I'm going to wrap the pipe cleaner around it. That way the legs will be bendy like the pipe cleaner, but it will be a little bit bulkier. What do you think? Is that a good spider leg? We're going to make a face for the spider out of black construction paper. It's got a few spooky horns or pincers or something on the top. Then we can glue it on the bowl along with the legs. Now, I could just stick on some googly eyes, but this is a spooky, scary spider, and I think the googly eyes look a little bit too cute and silly. So instead, I'm going to use some shiny red thingies as eyes. I think they look a little bit more evil. We can also add 2 shiny fangs made out of aluminum foil. We could just leave the spider as it is. He does look pretty scary. But this isn't just a regular spider. This is a spider from a magic enchanted forest full of like elves and stuff. So maybe I will paint some interesting swirly patterns on him so that he looks a little more magical and mysterious. Here comes the giant spider! Ah! What do you think? Does he look pretty scary? I think if you don't want to fight your spider, since he's made out of a bowl, you can always wear him as a hat. He makes a pretty good hat. He fits right on there. Well, that's all I've got for today. I hope you all have fun making your own spiders. And I hope that you have some crazy, crazy adventures with them. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.